Hi everyone, me again. Okay, well, basically things are going still a little rocky with the tech. So I'm thinking of basically on Monday, we are going to have an in-class activity where we are going to take those group outlines you did on entertainment and turn them into body paragraphs, and I am just going to collect the pages and give you guys grades on Canvas based on that. I'm sorry, I know some people may not like it that way, but I've got too many people who keep on apparently trying to upload stuff and it just does not get on there, and I end up having to take a lot of extra time I'd rather spend in class catching up and doing housekeeping. So next time we meet, this coming Monday, we'll be doing the M11 assignment where we're going to be, let me just look over here, M11 in-class activity, 3 body paragraphs. We're going to do that in class where you folks are going to create 3 body paragraphs based upon that little group exercise you did on the entertainments. You should watch video games. You should not watch video games. Based on the 3 body paragraphs that your group did, you're all going to create individually a page with 3 body paragraphs based on that. And I will collect them at the end of class, so no one's going to get left out this time. Okay? And I'll just punch them right into Canvas. So I'm going to be trying this next couple of days to see if I can just clean up all of the Canvas problems. Okay? We'll go from there. Anyways, the next thing we're going to be doing is a little bit of a thing on M12. We're looking at introductions and conclusions. Now, there basically is an actual slideshow you can see on the subject of introductions and conclusions. Once again, those module, that is in the M12 module. Okay? And if you want to take a peek at it, I'll give you the exact wording here. Okay. But in the M12 module, it's past the overview. Okay. Just taking a look on that myself. Okay. So, once you've gotten those body paragraphs completed, it'll be time for the actual introduction and the conclusion pieces. And so when we do that, okay, when we take a look at that, okay, this thing is just really, really hard to nail down and do the way it's supposed to. But in any case, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking specifically at how to write or how to do an introduction and a conclusion. So essentially, there is an embedded slideshow that you can look at in the M12 lesson, Introductions and Conclusions. So keep looking for that if you can't find it. Click on the, please click here. It's got a picture of 2 hands shaking each other. Okay, so you can work with that. Okay, so introductions and conclusions. So essentially, there are going to be a couple of handouts I'll give you during this time as well, called Matching Hooks and Clinchers and How to Build Standard Essays. Now there are no videos on it, unfortunately, but there's the slideshow here, and you'll have handouts as well on Monday, right before we go to the group exercise. So, Dr. Fung likes to do the body paragraphs first, so we're going to do that first. We complete the body paragraphs first. They're kind of the cake of the essay, and the introduction and the conclusion are the frosting. They come at the top, they come at the bottom, whereas you've got these 3 layers, these 3 claims in between. Okay? So, some people really insist on doing the introduction first, but here we're basically going to say, you know, once you've got your body paragraphs, you can't go it the other way. Once you've got the body paragraphs down, you know exactly what you're going to be talking about, and then you can instead build your introduction and conclusion paragraphs based on that. So, going to the 3rd slide. For introductions, it's got a picture of 3 little eggs on it since we were just beginning here. For formal essays, an introduction has 3 parts. There's what's called a hook. It grabs your reader's attention. a rhetorical question or a surprising fact or a short little story, often we'll get that. Try to keep it to one sentence, though, for this kind of an essay. Then 2, give us the background. Give us your claims. Tell the readers what they need to know to understand your thesis. Okay? And then 3, your actual thesis. The point of your essay. What are you trying to get me to believe? Are you trying to get me to believe that Assassin's Creed is the best video game ever? Are you trying to get me to believe that Atari video games are better than Xbox games? Whatever it might be. Okay? So, we'll talk a little bit about those during class as well. So, I've mentioned a couple of hooks already. Sometimes you can ask an intriguing question. Do you know what it's like to be betrayed by someone you trusted? That is a good hook for a paper on the play Macbeth, for example, which deals with betrayal. Maybe you can talk about a quick problem. Jimmy looked at the street and wished he could cross it. That's a hook too. It gets people wondering, who's Jimmy and why does he want to cross the street? Those kinds of things. Or begin a dramatic story and stop it right when it's getting good. Okay? So, they give 2 sample hooks. Over 50% of Americans believe Walmart harms small businesses, but over 99% shop there anyway. Lily Tomlin, you can give a fun little quote. Lily Tomlin was a comedian from the 70s and 80s, and one of her more famous quotes from that period was, "I always wanted to be somebody, but now I realize I should have been more specific." Okay? So, paradoxical little quotes. Okay? So, they give a few more examples of hooks as they go on. Okay? Now, if you're going to be doing a thesis, though, in a thesis, a good thesis has these characteristics. First, it only answers the essay question if it's given. Okay? You do not go wandering off down rabbit holes. It makes one claim or point, not 2, 3, or 4. Atari games are better than Xbox games. Xbox games are better than Atari games. That is the thesis. Now, the body paragraphs you've already written should be enough to prove whatever your thesis ends up being. Okay? You decide your thesis after you see what evidence do I have, what does it show, what does it prove. Okay? So, if I have a thesis like there are some good and bad aspects to family planning. Okay? So, well, in this case, for the kind of essay that we're doing, we're not really arguing 2 opposite opinions here. We're presenting one. So you could say, family planning is good or family planning is bad. But you wouldn't make a thesis of, there are good and bad aspects to video games. There are good and bad aspects to voting. Everything has to have, and the kind of thesis we're doing, the kind of essay we're doing here in this 1301 class, we're going to be looking at one specific thing that you want to prove. Okay? The Volkswagen Jetta is a much superior car to the Alfa Romeo. You get it. So, if we say a thesis like John Smith is adopted, well, that's not a thesis, that is a fact. Okay? So that we can't really use that as a thesis. Okay? Now, if we started off with the phrase, why should you care about human rights in the Middle East? Well, that makes for a good hook, but it's not a thesis. It's a question. It's not a claim. It's not a point. It's not something I'm going to be proving. Okay? Instead, for a thesis, you should care, or you should not care about human rights in the Middle East. Okay? And so on and so forth. They give you all this stuff in the actual slideshow. Alrighty. So, background information. Got to put it in there. It prepares readers for the thesis by defining and explaining everything in the thesis. If you're going to do a thesis, for example, like family planning is good, you're going to want to define exactly what you mean by family planning. Are you going to be talking about natural family planning? Are you going to be talking about the use of artificial contraceptive devices and so forth? What do you mean when you talk about family planning? You say, well, family planning through the use of contraception is a bad idea. Okay. You've defined your term. Family planning through the use of natural family planning means is a good idea. You are taking a defined term and telling me if you're going to be arguing in favor or against it. Okay? So, also, excuse me. And they give some other examples there as well. Just going to quick check my time here, make sure I'm not going crazy. Okay, good, good. All right, this works. Now, if we're going to go to the background example, readers need to know, for example, you should say that Jane was devastated when her boyfriend called her fat, but the AHA pill can save you. Okay? Well, we're going to need to know what that AHA pill is. What does it do? Does it burn fat? Does it give you energy to exercise, which burns fat? Well, the example they here notes, Jane Smith was devastated when her boyfriend told her she was fat. That's your hook. Gets us wondering, well, who's Jane Smith? And what kind of a bum is her boyfriend? That's my opinion. After doing a lot of research, it continues on, Jane discovered the AHA diet pill. See that? They define the kind of pill it is. A pill that helps increase metabolism and decrease food cravings. So again, they define it even further. Though invented by Dr. John Jones in 1999, the FDA did not approve of the pill last year. Many have discovered the AHA diet pill is an effective way to lose weight. So, we have a bunch of claims in there, discovered by Dr. So-and-so and approved by the FDA. It's a good thing because it helps get rid of food cravings and increase metabolism, etc., etc., etc. The very last thing in there is, many like Jane have discovered the AHA diet pill is an effective way to lose weight. That's your thesis. Okay? So, they give all kinds of examples in the slideshow of various backgrounds, okay? Various parts as well. Okay? When it comes to how to put things into your introduction. Okay? I'm going to encourage you to take a look at that, and I'm also going to, please note, I'm really glad Dr. Fong did what I like to do, and you're going to see that a number of these pieces are color-coded as well. Okay? So, for example, if you're going to be identifying the parts, I'm looking at a slide further down, it's slide number 26. Identify the parts, intro number 3. This is just an example Dr. Fong gives you. The hook is the first line. Is there a holy aura around all things cultural? Well, Shirley Jackson's The Lottery is about a town full of people, blah, 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 who go all the way down to sister insist on defending it. Okay? So, all of that stuff in the middle, those are your claims. Those are the part of the introduction that you're going to be expanding on in body paragraphs later on in the essay. So the red answer, intro number 3, on slide number 27. The hook is the red text. The background information, or the claims you can call them, that's the blue text. And the actual thesis, is the green text, the thing you're going to prove. In both stories, the rising tension depends heavily on characters' clashing views of culture. Okay? We're going to be talking more about it as time goes on. Okay? They also do talk about scholarships and so forth. For now, I want you to go through and read the slideshow, and I want you to come to class on Monday prepared to write out those 3 body paragraphs and to give them to me at the end of class on paper. Okay? All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Here's hoping we can make things go even better. Bye-bye.